French President Emmanuel Macron has arrived on a state visit. Macron jetted into Abuja from Mauritania after attending the African Union Summit. Foreign Affairs Minister Geoffrey Onyeama has welcomed the French leader to Abuja. Macron has visited the presidential palace in Abuja, where he will hold talks with his Nigerian counterpart Muhammadu Buhari. Security, terrorism and trade will be high on the agenda. Analysts say this is part of Macron's attempts to forge closer ties with English-speaking African nations. The French president is also expected to visit the new Afrika Shrine in Lagos, a nightclub which was founded by Nigerian music legend Fela Kuti. Let's discuss this further with CGTN's Phil Ihaza, who's live for us in Abuja. So Phil, Emmanuel Macron was an intern at the French embassy in Nigeria some 15 years ago. 1.5 decades later, he's back to the country. What has he and President Buhari discussed?
Well, so far we know that the French president has arrived in Nigeria. He has also had closed-door meetings with Nigeria's president, Muhammadu Buhari. He is also still currently on, the talks are still ongoing currently, and the details are a bit sketchy at the moment, but we know that French President Emmanuel Macron stated clearly that the discussions will revolve around regional security, strengthening ties with both nations in terms of trade, and of course the fight against insurgency in these regions.
All right, so talk to us about the current status of bilateral trade and investment ties between these two countries, because last year bilateral trade was worth over $4 billion, but has that improved compared to prior years?
Well, last year we had the bilateral trade agreement valued at over $4 billion, or about 3 billion euros in the figure. But in 2016, according to Banque de France, the figure was over 6 billion euros. So it means that the relations, the value of the trade or bilateral trade relations have actually dipped a bit. And this may also be one of the reasons why the French President Macron will be holding serious talks to see how they can also deepen economic ties, especially beyond just oil. We're looking at, we're looking at agri-food products, we're looking at cultural investment and all of that.
Right, so let's pick up on that, Phil, talking about deepening these economic ties. Like you mentioned, the majority of Nigeria's exports to France really is oil. So if we're talking about improving these economic ties, what else is Nigeria looking to export to France in terms of both goods and services?
Well, the French ambassador in 2013, while he stated that Africa has quite huge and vast economic opportunities, and of course this has been seen with recent interest from countries all across the world. So Nigeria, apart from oil, definitely has human capital, huge human capital investment opportunities. We're looking at cultural ties, like I said earlier on, which France will be interested in entertainment industry and all of that. We're also looking at small and medium enterprises, which recently France has been giving soft loans to states and small, medium enterprise, private sectors in the country. So these are some other areas apart from oil that the country, France will be looking to invest in. And not to forget that also the key thing in this present administration of President Muhammadu Buhari is to also diversify the economy beyond oil. So this will be interesting to know that at this time the French president is visiting to look into those areas.
Indeed, Phil, great chatting with you. Thank you very much for your time. Phil has a live for us there in Abuja. Now,